Good morning. How are you all? My name's Diane and this is my very first video on YouTube. Welcome to my channel, and yeah, so I'm excited to tell you a little bit about myself. And yeah, so you probably know me through Sarah Lemkus, possibly. I'm Sarah's mum. And yeah, so a little bit about me. My parents lived on Dun Road in Ruawai, and actually that's where I live now. Crazy, eh? So my parents bought a farm in Maramaku where I was brought up. For 13 years I grew up on a dairy farm, and then I went to boarding school, and yeah, so went there for 4 years, and then I went to the States and I travelled. I was a nanny and I met my first husband there. Came back to New Zealand after 5 years and I had my kids, so I've got Sarah and Kyle. And yeah, and then I got divorced, and so I was single for 12 years, single mum, before I met my Simon. And so I've been with him for 13 years and married for 8 years. And we lived in Auckland for quite a while. I lived in Auckland for 23 years altogether. And then we decided to move up to Ruawai, which is where we live now on Dun Road. My dad has a farm here, he has a beef farm, and we came up here to help him and to get away from the city and the crazy, the traffic, and just, yeah, just wanted some space. And we wanted to have an orchard and grow all our own veggies. So I've got about a 6-acre block of land, and we've got some calves in the paddock, and we've got chooks, and I've got, yeah, basically we planted a big garden. Yep, so we've been here for 5 years, just about next month, 5 years. And so we've basically renovated the house, got it all nice, and we worked on our gardens and making an orchard. And we've also bought some land up the hill, which is near sort of my dad's property. He has 350 acres, and we bought 135 acres just behind his land. So we've got a little farm there where my husband Simon, he does his farming, and I do my thing down here. Also do a little bit of beauty and massage from home. So I'm a massage therapist, and I've been doing beauty and massage for 19 years now. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying getting to meet the locals, and the local farmers' wives come to me, and yeah, so I'm really enjoying that. And so I'll just tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be doing on this channel. Be about living an abundant, plant-based, eco-friendly, self-sufficient lifestyle in New Zealand. And I'm going to be talking about gardening tips. I'm going to do a tour of my garden today, and we'll do like a tour of the orchard next time, and do some cooking from the garden, and lots of sort of tips and tricks, and also on skin. So I'm going to do skincare tips, how to make face masks, and yeah, just saving the planet, things like that. How to make gut-friendly foods, and being self-sufficient, just a whole lot of things, how to live to 100, which share my knowledge with you. And yeah, so hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up, and yeah, and like my video, and let's go on a tour. Come on then. Alright, so here we are in the garden. There's all my veggie beds. When we first moved here, there was a big wooden fence along there, and there was a race, so we ripped that down, and we used all the timber, all this timber here, for making our veggie beds. They're about 1 metre wide by 2 metres long, and we've made some extra beds on the end. So these are my red potatoes, which are pretty much died back. When they die back, they're ready to pull out. So I'm going to pull those out. got rhubarb here, and in here I've got my kale. So I've got a few kales growing. I've got some more seedlings to plant in here, so I keep that covered because the white butterflies are rampant and they lay the caterpillars which eat all the leaves. Some beetroots here which are ready to pull out, and I need to plant some more. I've got some seedlings that are ready to plant in there, so I grow everything from seed. Here is my celery bed. I'm growing celery to start juicing celery. I've been doing a little bit to start with. It's following the medical medium, if you've heard of the juice craze. Carrots in here. I've got some red carrots are going to be coming up here in this bare space. Yeah, there's some there. So those carrots are ready to pull out. And I've got strawberries here. And these are my eggplants, which have gotten really tall. So all these purple flowers, they turn into eggplants. There's one couple of eggplants down there. They're getting bigger. And then I've got capsicums, which are very tall. So I'm leaving these on to get to be red capsicums. I love red capsicums. And this plant is so overloaded, it's falling over. I have to stake it up. Oh my gosh, so abundant. And then I've got another capsicum here. This is my bean garden. So these ones here are my new beans that I planted, and they're coming up because these other ones are just about finished. Once they finish, by the time those ones come up, then yeah, I've got ones growing here. And this is a self-seeded tomato, which is massive, and I think it's called a 100 because they grow like 100 little tiny cherry tomatoes. So I've got to do some picking because they're ripening up very quickly. There's a whole bunch down there, you can see. So very abundant with cherry tomatoes there. There's some beans. I grow dwarf beans. I've got the butter beans, which are the yellow ones, and I've got the green beans as well. Got some more strawberries in that bed. And this is sweet corn, and it's very tall. It's going to be ready soon-ish. There's some corn there. Well, still got a while to go, but I planted about 100 plants in this tiny little bed, which is about 1 metre by 1 metre, so bit of a mistake really. I shouldn't have done that. And here's my tomatoes, and they have got really tall. So I've been picking heaps of tomatoes. You can probably see them more around this side. Been making lots of pasta sauce for the freezer and making some tomato soup as well, which I've got to make today. And there's heaps to pick actually. So in this garden bed here I've got zucchinis growing, cucumbers here, and this is silver beet, which I grow for my chooks, and I've got a whole lot of calendula flowers which are coming up here, which I need to move out. And I've got some zucchinis here. They're only small ones. More zucchinis, and more zucchinis through here. Can't really see under there. And then I've got some pumpkins growing. And this is the back of the house. Kitchen, and the back of the house is the deck. And my chook house is there. There's some more strawberries here. My strawberries are almost finished. I've got some growing still. Yeah, so that's some of my garden. I'll take you over to the rest of it. A couple more garden beds here. These tomatoes were planted late. I've got to pick some there. And these ones I planted even later, so they basically grow from, I plant them in October and they finish around April, May, they probably finish, so they grow for a long season. Got some pumpkins growing here, potatoes in this bed. I pulled out a whole lot here, so I've just planted some more, and these ones I've got to rip out. These are some red potatoes and some Maori potatoes. And the pumpkin's growing down the hill here. So just walking down to the kumara beds down in the corner of our farm, or our block, and we grow them down there because it's sort of a wasted space. So we're in the middle of sort of kumara country, lots of dairy farms out that way. All around basically is dairy farms. And here's our kumara bed, so it's about 10 metres by 8 metres. So this crop does us for a year. Basically it's a year's worth of kumaras. Kumaras are sweet potatoes. I've got a few weeds in there which I need to pull. But last year we had we only had about half of our crop we could save because they got eaten by crickets and rats, so we've put out some cricket and rat bait this year, so hopefully we'll be able to have enough kumaras to last us for a whole year. Yeah, so that's that bed. Hello! Here's Misty! So this is my little greenhouse to start off my seedlings. I've got some kale seedlings to plant in the garden, basil and some beetroot that I need to plant in, and I need to grow some more lettuce as well. I've got thyme, oregano and rosemary there. This is my porch. It's a bit cooler in here so I can grow my lettuces in the summer. So I've got them all covered up because the white butterflies lay their eggs and then they get eaten by the caterpillars. So there's some new ones starting there. The red ones are really nice. The red lettuce. There's some lettuce growing in there. The last lot got eaten by caterpillars, so I had to cover it with this mesh, and then I've got like a net curtain over it. So it protects it and keeps it good. So this is my front garden, a view from my living room. Well, that's the end of my video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you, and anything you want me to talk about, that'll be great. I'll love to hear from you. Thanks, bye!